Okay, so what's new here at the International Conference on Molecular Lymphoma in Lugano? Well, I think there are a little bit small bits which direction we're moving, both for aggressive and indolent lymphoma. First of all, what's new about aggressive lymphoma? Well, in the plenary session, we had a major discussion on the role of lenalidomide in combination with standard of care, which is our job. And based on the results of a large phase 3 study, unfortunately, results are disappointing that no significant improvement could be achieved. So what about the other options? CLL, definitely. Here we have the CLL14 trial, which sets a new standard for elderly patients. The German study group is the first one which confirms the benefit of a venetoclax antibody combination, really achieving very high rates of molecular remission, and this will be the next steps. What about the practice-changing things in mantle cell lymphoma? Well, it's somewhat confirmatory that we now have data both for first line, where autologous transplant remains standard of care in elderly, in younger patients, even improving overall survival. In relapse, we now have the data confirming what we have suspected so far, which is the early cases, which are the ones who are responding to chemotherapy-based regimens only for a short time, they explicitly benefit from ibrutinib. Now, what about follicular lymphoma? Here it is a little bit more complicated. And what we've seen as a general theme is that we know the cases which relapse early, they have a poor outcome, the so-called POD24. So what about the therapeutic approaches in these specific patients? Well, it's fair to say that targeted approaches, and that might be either PI3K inhibitors or lenalidomide, which is expected to be registered later this year also in Europe, they work as well in the early as the late relapses, which essentially means specifically elderly patients, early relapsing, they qualify for these targeted approaches.